You're not awake. You're alive. Buried deep in your mother's den's warm, dark safety, you're tiny, a fur ball no bigger than a soda can. The world outside is frozen, silent, and unforgiving, but you don't know yet. Time passes, and your tiny body grows stronger. You stumble as you try to stand, legs shaking, only to collapse onto your nose. The den is your whole world. One day, your mother claws open the entrance, and the cold air stings your nose. She nudges you forward, and you tumble out into a massive, loud, and blinding world. Everything smells sharp and alive. Trees, snow, and something you can't name yet. Danger. This is where survival begins. You are out. The den is behind you now, and the world is massive. The sunlight burns your eyes. The wind carries scents you cannot name, and every sound feels like a warning. Trees tower above. The ground is damp with melted snow, and somewhere in the distance, you hear a rustle, something alive. You take a shaky step forward, your legs wobbling beneath you. A stick catches your eye. You swipe at it with clumsy paws, but it is not as easy as it looks. You tumble forward, landing face first into the dirt. Behind you, your mother does not stop. She's already moving, her head low and scanning the forest. She does not slow down, not even when you stop to sniff a strange plant or chase a butterfly that vanishes before you even get close. Then she stops. With one mighty swipe, she flips a log, exposing a swarm of insects. Her teeth snap as she consumes a few, and then looks at you, waiting. You hesitate, sniffing the wriggling bugs before finally grabbing one. Crunch. It's bitter, strange, but not terrible. Climbing. It is not just a skill. It is survival. Your mom is already halfway up a massive tree, her claws digging into the bark with ease. She glances down, and you know what that look means. If you cannot do this, you will not make it out here. You take a deep breath and dig your tiny claws into the rough bark. The first few inches feel like victory. Your muscles strain, your paws grip, and you think you have it for a moment. But then, gravity strikes, and you slide back down with a dull thud into the dirt. You growl softly, determined. You try again, clawing and scrambling your way upward, inch by painful inch. The bark scrapes your paws raw, but you don't stop. Then, just as you find your rhythm, something darts from the branches above. A squirrel. It chatters at you furiously, its beady eyes locked on yours, and for a second, you freeze. Is this tiny creature dangerous? Probably not. Still, the standoff lasts forever until it rushes off, leaving you to conquer the rest of the climb. Finally, you haul yourself onto a sturdy branch. Your mom gives you a glance of approval. No praise, no reward, just the silent acknowledgement that you have passed this test. Getting down is no easier. You try to backpedal, claws slipping against the bark. Suddenly, you slide down the trunk, flailing wildly like a clumsy firefighter. When you hit the ground, you are battered and bruised but victorious. You are learning, and out here, every lesson counts. You have been chewing on bugs and berries for a while now. Your mom decides it is time for a proper hunt. She notices a rabbit munching on some grass nearby and gives you a look like, "Pay attention, kid." This is how it is done. You crouch down, trying your best to copy her. But you are not exactly like her. Your paw steps on a dry twig, and it cracks loudly. The rabbit's ears shoot up, taking off like it knows a bear cub is behind it. Oh, wait, it does. Your mom sighs and shakes her head before taking off after the rabbit herself. By the time you catch up, she has already caught the rabbit. She drops it before you like, "All right, you try this again next time." Not one to waste an opportunity, you take a few bites. It is messy and way more work than eating bugs. By the end of the hunt, you are full, tired, and feeling slightly more like a real bear. It is fishing time. Your mom takes you to a nearby river, and you can see fish jumping out of the water like they are trying to show off. Your mom wades in, calm and focused. She stands perfectly still, watching the water, and then, bam, she scoops up a fish with one paw swipe. You are impressed, but now it is your turn. You wade in, paws ready, and gaze at the water. Then, a fish jumps right past your nose. Excited, you lunge forward and splash. You miss it entirely and faceplant it into the water. Nice one. Not giving up, you try again. This time, you spot a fish swimming close, and with all the focus you can gather, you swipe. Success. You catch your first fish. It is slippery, creeping in your claws, and before you can even celebrate, it slips out and splashes back into the river. Your mom catches another fish and drops it in front of you. It is like she's saying, "Here, just eat this one before you embarrass yourself again." You chow down happily. Fast forward a few years, and you are all grown up. You have the size, strength, and skills to survive independently. One day during mating season, you pick up the scent of another bear nearby, a female. Delighted, you follow her trail, your massive paws crunching through the underbrush. You approach cautiously, giving her space, but another male bear suddenly appears. Great, a competitor. The two of you square off, standing on your back legs and growling low and deep. It is a battle of strength and intimidation. After tense moments, the other bear backs down, realizing you are not worth the fight. With the competition gone, you court the female with a mix of patience and persistence. She accepts you. Congratulations! You have just passed on your genes, ensuring the next generation of black bears. Time passes, and you have lived a long, successful life. But even the mightiest bears do not stay at the top forever. Your movements are slower, and your senses are not as sharp as they used to be. You do not notice the pack of wolves stalking you from the shadows. The wolves move in, circling you, their growls low and threatening. You try to fend them off, swiping with your claws, but you are outnumbered and out of energy. Eventually, the pack overpowers you. Your body becomes part of the forest, feeding the ecosystem that sustained you throughout your life. Birds, scavengers, and plants benefit from your final contribution to the wild. Even in death, you remain an essential part of nature's endless cycle.